Some days you've just got to deal with an absolute raid boss on the enemy team as a tank. And this is one of those days. We're on Moira, we're in Stadium, and the enemy team has a Junker Queen.
And the games can finally begin.
Now a while back, Junker Queen was really simple to deal with Moira. You just picked Phantasm, you just picked Multi-Ball, you got Liquid Nitrogen, you got Cyber Venom, and Junker Queen just could not really move. I would say that the good Junker Queen players have adapted to that. It's not quite as simple as that anymore. You're going to see an incredible performance by this easy target player. And somehow we have to try and deal with it. It's an incredible game. Had to upload it for you guys. And I really hope you enjoy it. So, what are we going to build? Well, as mentioned, Phantasm. Here's the thing, we now have gadgets though, so we can knock them back with that gadget, with Aura Repellent. Ballistic buffers, nearly always useful. Question is what to go now, because if we pick ability lifesteal, which you can't get from anywhere else, you have to have it in an item. So by picking that instead of ability power, as in power playbook, yeah, it makes the orbs a bit weaker, but it does mean that when we fade away from a target after dropping off the Phantasm orb, then yeah, we're gonna get some life back. So it's because we picked the knockback gadget that, yeah, it's we don't have enough to be able to get the ability power and ability lifesteal, so we just go for that. And then we see, hang on a minute, they're not going for the whole swing build, they're going for a I'm gonna shoot you in the head build. So that's what we're up against. Phantasm probably not actually that great against this style build, because they're not trying to get close to you to use a swing on you like that, right? We can push them back. They go for a swing there, and I mean, we crush them, and I'm like, okay, this is looking good. So, quick breakdown of the team compositions. We've got Junker Queen, Mei, Ashe, Mercy, and Moira on the enemy team. That's a lot of healing on their team, actually, with Mei being quite difficult to kill, and Ashe, we're just going to assume they go for a Dynamite, because every Ashe other than me goes for Dynamite. On our team, we've got Winston, Mei, Soldier 76, Mercy, Moira as well. So we've got decent healing. The difference there is going to be that, well, obviously we've got a Soldier against an Ashe. Our Soldier should, in theory, have more sustain, but their Junker Queen's going to have more sustain than our Winston. So we've capped the point, 20% capped already. We're going to go for a little flank here, see if we can pressure the back line a little bit. Mercy's there. The Mei wall was looking like it's going to block us off, but we're just going to go the other way. So 2 Meis in this game as well, which is, yeah, could mean a lot of kind of pain here. And try and put damage out on them as much as we can. Junker Queen's hitting us up a bit. Phantasm orb, we tried to use the gadget to push him back. It didn't really have much of an effect, but Junker Queen very low. Taken down with combination with the Mei and the Mei ult. Our team, I mean, this round's going really, really well right now. Coalescence over onto the Ashe, currently being healed by the Moira, but if anybody else contributes, then that Ashe is done. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get the Moira here, because they would have taken the Mega, and, well, we definitely can't now that there's a Mercy involved. Going to fade back there. We did drop a Phantasm orb off, which is doing a little bit of damage now, as we bounce around to go around the corner. We used our gadget to push him away, but also Phantasm, but in comes the Junker Queen. Oh, wish I didn't use the gadget now. Junker Queen's kind of swinging on us. We do fade to grab the Mega. Our Winston's in a bit of trouble though. Heal orb over onto them. Bob's now on the point as well. Yeah, we're going to have to fade up to the high ground here. Little back forward fade just so that we get the angle to get up there. Enemy team do cap the point and we're still alive, which is, you know, one of the worst kind of case scenarios. See if we can drop off an orb there. Maybe shouldn't have gone back in. We're not respecting the Junker Queen at this point, because we don't get the same knowledge that I've given you at the start of the video. They're a good player on the hero, so we're treating them just as the same as we would with any Junker Queen, but sometimes you have to adapt based on the player. Yeah, we know the Ashe was somewhere around there. Dynamite missed as well. Ashe is really, really low. Does take a little mini though. Out of range of the grass. We just about managed to take her down. Heal orb for ourselves. It's also going to heal our team as they arrive. Enemy team does have the objective though. We're going to cleanse that, but our soldiers in a bit of trouble. We were going around there in case we need to heal orb. Gadget saves us from the swing again. It's a really good buy actually. We've got a coalescence. We just wanted to drop off the Phantasm orb. fade away to get some distance, and then we would have hit Coalescence there. Not sure if it's going to matter, as Mercy does get the res onto us. We're in a Mei ult, but we've got fade, so we can just get straight out of that. That Mei's, yeah, going to be annoying and distracting, but enemy team has to come to us, so we can just kind of wait for that. We've got the gadget to boop the Mei. If she decided to jump down, could have probably booped her up in the air and stopped her from touching the point.
2-0.
Gonna win that first round. Generate decent money, but enemy Junker Queen on 15k, our Mercy's on 15k. I mean, they put out crazy amounts of healing, but the damage, I mean, it's pretty bad when, yeah, the Junker Queen gets that much cash early on.
What tactics will the teams come up with this round?
So, here's the question. We'll have to sell an item if we want to get one of the debuffs. So, we could opt to just get liquid nitrogen. However, they are on a weapon firing build rather than a swing build. So, maybe slowing the Junker Queen doesn't help as much. Cyber Venom could be a good choice. Otherwise, we could just go for flat out ability power. We've got the money where we can get Vitality Amplifier, we can get Energized Bracers, and we can get our Power Playbook. So that would certainly be an option. Right now, we're just considering what we would sell here. The gadget, if we're going to go for the liquid nitrogen play, it does mean that there's a good chance that we're going to be a bit more broke than normal when we go for this, but we're going for the classic, I'm going to shut them down. So, more weapon power from the Junker Queen. They've also got Frenzy Amplifier. That's brutal if they're getting the kills here. Big open map. Hopefully this should help us a little bit. It will have a little impact on the main, not so much on the Ashe. Mercy Moira is still going to put out crazy healing, so it is a risk. Liquid Nitrogen is still strong. You know, it's useful. It does allow us to choose the engagements. It's a bit like having a Lucio on your team, like versus playing against one that doesn't. That slow there, for example, combined with Mei's slows, made her a little bit useless there, trying to go in for the swing. So I'm pretty happy with this. Like so far, obviously it's quite early. Drop off an orb there. If they decide to push out onto that, they are going to get that slow effect. Another orb flat bounced off of the wall to bounce down. Well, not flat bounce really, but just bounced off of the wall. Junker Queen was very low. Cyber Venom would have been great there, but then she would have been slowed. In comes the Junker Queen ult quite early as well. Damage out onto our players. We're going to try and hold off the rest of them as we fade backwards. Get some healing out on the Mei, but the Junker Queen switches targets, eliminates us. Mei's in a lot of trouble. We did get a res over onto the Winston, but Winston's already low health. Does get taken down by the enemy Moira. And I mean, I think our team... Oh, okay. No, okay, yeah. We looks like we got a kill over onto the Junker Queen, but they just got res again. It was very confusing with the two Mercies in the game. A Mercy getting the kill and then a Mercy... Well, obviously it has to be the Mercy resing. These are Coalescence to try and push the Ashe. We do get Bob out of them. Can we actually get the elimination on the Ashe? We can, but Bob finishes us off. It's a life for a life, an ult for an ult. Bob's better than Coalescence is, so I'm okay with that, but the problem is the enemy team's making some progress. They're now getting to the objective, and our team's not feeling comfortable pushing in right away here. So I'm not sure I really want to go in this direction here. That's frustrating with the Mei wall as well. Junker Queen's now going to be pushing us. Oh, we've walled her off, but she does manage to break through. Does kill the Ashe. I want to stop this objective from moving. So that's kind of my priority. And we've got kind of an opportunity to run the bot here, but there is the enemy Ashe here. We tried to fade jump up top and whiff it. Stand still, dodge over onto the Ashe. Didn't quite work. I think we also got hit by possibly a Mei, which didn't help. Junker Queen is just farming our players right now. The Frenzy Amplifier is also going to really help them. Winston looks like they're going to drop as well. No, they use the ult. That's good because they're not making much bot progress here. Mercy doing a little bit to try and touch the bot there. Mei does push us. We can fade. We're going to fade all the way around the corner up top. That allows us to put a bit of pressure over onto this Mercy and the Ashe there. Ashe gets taken down. Mercy very low. We're getting hit by the Junker Queen though. She is slow, but she's just used her charge, which means she will catch us up. Followed by the ult. Luckily, Mei was in ice block there. We've about to go into overtime here. May gets taken down. There's just a Winston. He's getting cold right now. Junker Queen also farming them. Mercy going for the res. Tries to also go for the touch. Does get both. Great play from the Mercy, but now it's just again a Winston versus the world. We're not going to arrive in time. And we lose the round. Enemy team gets a huge cash lead. 16k on the Junker Queen. That's over double our cash. Our May's getting 10k, but that's just... They got 16 eliminations.
The teams are facing off in clash.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that we're going to need Cyber Venom, not Liquid Nitrogen here, right? But we're also kind of broke. We need to earn some money. So what's the play here? Cyber Venom is going to reduce the heal output. I mean, she's having too easy of a time surviving here, especially with Moira Mercy supporting her. What are we going to do with the rest of this? You can probably tell by the items we're looking at. So aftermarket firing pin. If we get Techno Leech, that gives us 2 1k slots. What can we get here? Do we want more survival or do we want more attack speed or ability power? Let's see here. Compensator, weapon grease. That's going to give us more damage. We feel like that is the play, which means Chain Grasp. You definitely saw it coming. Hit the like button if you knew we were picking Chain Grasp here. So we're going for a hybrid build. We've got our debuff orbs. We've got Phantasm to also place down those orbs. But then the majority of our damage is just going to come from Chain Grasp. I think it's a pretty decent option. The orb build takes a little while to scale. And if we just focus on something like Cross Orbal here, we're going to stay kind of broke. We're already a good 4k or so behind the enemy Moira in terms of revenue. So they've gone for the orb build. We'd just be a weaker version of them and we'd have to rely on our player skill to try and get ahead here. So we've changed things up a bit. Let's see how this works. It's also quite a close range map. I would say this is a good one for orbs though. Thinking we were hearing some footsteps or anything, but just checking. Chain Grasp getting a bit of damage out there. Winston's health is gone. What in the world? They just walked straight forward, absolutely deleted the Winston. When they chased us down, Mercy did get a res over onto the Winston. Cost her a life though by the looks of it. Winston does get that kill over onto the Ashe. But Mercy just rezzing it right away, and now, yeah, he's isolated and there's no chance of survival. I mean, how are we beating this? If they can just walk forward and destroy our tank like that, we get pulled here, we're going to fade out of there. We do get stuck on the little roof. May's shooting us. We're trying to dodge those May shots. Soldier taking hits, does get pulled by... Oh, it's actually the May who gets pulled. And now taken down by the Ashe there. Our tank is back in. Cyber Venom will help. But I mean, we've still got to put pressure on them. Right now we're targeting the May. We kind of have to. Junker Queen's getting low. Cyber Venom, but does use the charge. In comes the ult. Not sure she hit anyone with that. Maybe hit the Winston with it. Now we're trying to do what we can. Okay, no swing there. In comes the Cyber Venom. That takes him down. Mercy going for the res. We tried to drop off the Phantasm Orb. Mercy does get out. Very, very low health. We use our Coalescence. Apply debuffs to as many players as we can at the start. Now there's an Ashe. We're going to have to fade there because we're going to waste all of the Coalescence there. Nearly got booped off of the map. Ashe hitting triple shots onto us though. It is going to take us down. Also give her that little bit of ult charge needed for the Bob, which she puts on the point. This is a problem. It's really lucky that we won the first round because the enemy team would mercy rule us here, almost certainly. So can we even get there? I mean, we took so much damage. I fade just to cleanse the additional weapon power. What's going on at the back? Chain Grasp. We take down the Moira, but we're going to get not stuck in the Mayo. Our May's ulted as well. Junker Queen is stuck in the ice, but she's going to get out of this. We couldn't get an orb over onto them. Phantasm Orb dropped off next to the Junker Queen. That should help, but there was still the enemy Coalescence coming in. We're firing a damage orb again. That should bounce across the map and keep applying those Cyber Venom debuffs. But the question is, what can we do here? May's doing a good job stalling the point. Enemy May rolling around like a mad woman. Looks like our May's going to get taken down. Winston, too low health. Can't do anything here. We've got the Mercy. I'm not sure she's going to be able to get another res here. Does get taken down. It's all on us. Don't worry. There's only 4 of them. We've got this. It's easy. Little fade, misdirection, bounce a heal orb, which we didn't need, apparently. I thought I was going to take some damage when there were players next to me, but it was only a Mercy. So we get eliminated. Enemy team do take the round. This is a problem. This is a very big problem. We get MVP. We get the cash generation that we really needed. We're only 2k behind what the Junker Queen earned, but we did earn more than the rest of the enemy team, which means we are putting out that damage. The debuffs probably helped quite a lot here. Or should I say, well, just Cyber Venom. So I think we probably lean more into that. This is now a big open map. The question is, do we also want liquid nitrogen? Because we've got enough money where we can sell either weapon grease or compensator. Probably makes sense to sell compensator. And then we can afford liquid nitrogen. So that gives us 2 debuffs. And we can go with that. Alternatively, if we sell everything here, I mean the 12k, it's, you know, what, weapon jammer maybe. Sell aftermarket firing pin, that gives us 16,000. I mean, we're considering our options here. The other way to do it is to go more of a hybrid thing. So you get like weapon jammer, reduce the attack speed. I mean, what are we doing here? Cyber Venom with Super Serum, that's Cyber Venom, Super Serum, weapon jammer. It's not great. We've got 10k, the money's really awkward. Aftermarket firing pin. Okay, what are we doing here? Just weapon grease then. So technically, I mean, we've leaned into the chain grasp. There's no liquid nitrogen here. It's a pretty good build.
3, 2,
Again, we're just relying on Phantasm to apply Cyber Venom, and it can apply it in zones as well if we get chased down. And then Weapon Jammer's going to just give us a big damage spike. We're up against the Mei in a 1v1. Surely we got this. Okay, we're going to run from that though. She's booping us back. Damage orb we chose. We've got to drop off another one there as we now go take the enemy spawn mega. Mei took a bit of damage, but that's kept us out of the fight for quite a while. See an isolated Ashe. That's what we like to see with this build. She's hitting every shot though. We've got no chain grasp, otherwise another player would have died there. Come on, can we get the kill? Cyber Venom was helping, but it's going to wear off soon, and Mercy's healing. Did she walk into the other one? She does still have Cyber Venom applied, but we're occupying 2 players right now, which is key. Ashe is also very, very low. Another Cyber Venom onto the Ashe. That eliminates her. Mercy's going to get the res though. Again, this is great for us. It doesn't matter like what really happens here. The fact is that we're occupying 2 of them for the price of 1. Even using the ult, I don't mind. It's just for sustained. None of this matters if we get killed or not. It's just the longer that we can keep them busy. Now our soldiers come to join the party. That's not quite as efficient. We still don't get the kills on them. Ah, there we go though. It did help. So we finally get the Ashe down. Our team survived in the 4v3 at the time. We do take down the enemy Moira. Have to fade out of the Mei ult. We do fire our orb. That did seem to apply Cyber Venom onto the Junker Queen, or maybe that was the previous Phantasm orb. Oh, damage orb over onto Junker Queen. She gets taken down. The amount of damage that we've got on our weapon now is really, really nice. Combined with the debuffs as well. Oh, Mei gets taken down. Cross-star beam. Now chain grasp over onto the Moira and Ashe. Well, sorry, not Moira. Moira and Junker Queen. Going to rotate up top. Coalescence is going to apply those debuffs. Just make sure we've got down as many players as possible. We don't have a fade yet. We do now, however. Mercy's tagging us with some heals, I think, as well. So, chain grasp over onto the Moira. That should be hitting the Mercy as well. We're going to jump up there. See if we can get any more damage out there as Mercy does res up the Ashe. Chain grasp onto the Mercy. She's the only one we could hit. There's too many players here, so we're going to fade on out of there. Luckily, she missed the axe, but she's coming with the ult as well. We've got to cleanse that. Fade away. Enemy Moira with the coalescence. I mean, she's getting quite low. Winston's doing a good job keeping her at bay. Heal orb for us right now. We can drop off another one and then take the Mega, but we opt to just stand still in front of the Mei. It's a bit risky because if anybody else turns around, they're going to really hurt us. Now, the AoE healing coming out from Mercy there was just too much for us. Enemy team walking through this one. We've got 10k cash generated already in this round. We're certainly putting out the damage numbers, but our healing has suffered. I'm not too sure if this round's going to work out. Let's try and get a little bit of chain grasp onto him again here. Fade behind. We've got coalescence. Right, let's get those debuffs applied. We're just going to run away from the Mei. Snowball there. She's still chasing us. We're going to fade a bit further. See if we can get chain grasp on all 3 of these. Moira does fade it. Mei's still chasing us down. Junker Queen's next to us. We drop off that orb. Should get some debuffs onto him. We need another one for chain grasp here over onto the point. Junker Queen hitting us hard, but it's actually Ashe Bob that finishes us off. Mercy gets a res on us though, just as our orbs coming off of cooldown. Try and get that chain grasp damage onto everyone. We are anti right now, so we're going to have to fade that. It does mean that we lose the chain grasp because it just doesn't last that long. Player at the back was weak. Nah, there's too many of them. We do drop off another orb. That should just pad our damage numbers a little bit. Get us a bit more cash generation. 13k we get, but look at our Winston. Winston was only on, well, we were 13k before that, weren't we? What did we actually get that round? We got 17,500 damage that, cash that round. Tank's only on 10k. R1 May 10k. I mean, yeah. So we are certainly able to generate the cash here, which should really help out our build later on. The problem is we're now 1-3 in score. Enemy team still has a massive cash advantage over our team. How are we going to get our team back into this? Like, are we just going to try and eliminate everybody? So Ethereal Excision suggests we're just going to keep going with the Chain Grasp. I don't see a reason to not continue with that anymore. Because, well, it's obviously working for us. It's just the results aren't quite there. So Weapon Jammer's a no-brainer. El Saka Suppressor, since we've now got Ethereal Excision, is going to reduce their healing. That's good. So that solves the problem that Cyber Venom had. Super Serum, when you absolutely have to burst down players, that's going to be a super effective way to do it. Full Sky Ordnance, since we've got a raid boss that's a tank. If the money works out, it's not too bad. But we may be able to do this other ways. Like, we need some survivability. Weapon Jammer and Super Serum both give us extra life. Phantasmic Flux gives us a bit more. It also contributes for the orbs a little bit. What else are we going to get here? Shield Buster's not great because, yeah, Junker Queen doesn't normally have armor. So Techno Leech, Advanced Nanobiotics, that gives us a nice, well-rounded kind of grasp-based build. We've still got the debuffs. We've got some decent lifesteal. We've got good... I mean, we've got very good lifesteal, actually. When you've got Phantasmic Flux, Super Serum, Techno Leech, and Ethereal Excision, the amount of life that we can get back is kind of insane. So, yeah, we've still got a debuff. It's just done a different way now. We have to actually shoot their head, which on Moira just means shoot them, and then eventually your grasp will trace over their head and it will apply the debuff like just now. You can see the little mark above their head when it's applied, by the way. So you'll know who you've done. Right, Super Serum popped. It did nothing. Well, that being said, the Junker Queen did go down. So, I mean, we were still putting out some damage. It would have included onto her as well. So that probably did help a little bit. We do cap the point before the May can contest it. Ash is over on the flank. We kind of want to go and pressure that. There we go. That orb's bounced in case they run up the ramp, by the way. It's not like we just missed the orb on them. We did aim it to block off one of their retreat routes. We have to go a different way. Here we go. Chain Grasp over onto the back line. Doing some damage. I mean, with Mercy healing, it's going to still be a struggle. We've got our gadget, which we do use. We use it after the orb, which is not peak efficiency. But wow, their health really isn't moving, and we are definitely putting out crazy amounts of damage. And there's no way with this build we're not doing anything. We use Coalescence for the movement speed to hopefully get us out of this. We just about had Fade, but didn't use it in time, as our May does use her ultimate. I mean, we've still got the objective, but it looks like the enemy team's about to take that back. Is anyone in there for a stall?
Evolution is a painful
no, I think Mercy tried, but couldn't last very long against them. Soldier walking into the Moira orbs, I believe, there. Right, so 70% capped. There's the Ashe. We're going to push her because she went in forward for this dynamite. Can we? Gadget. We pop the gadget to make sure that we get that kill, because it's actually kind of important when you see a player like that you can get that elimination. Let's try and attack the back line just a little bit. Chain Grasp over onto them. I mean, it's so hard to deal enough damage here, especially when you've got a May as well. May's generally low damage. Winston's also pretty low damage, but we've got constant damage. In comes the Junker Queen. We're going to fade that. See if we can attack the May. We've been hit by the axe, though. We've got to try and get an orb. I needed to take a weird angle there so that we couldn't get shot from the little window area. Enemy team up to 70% now. We have to win this round or we lose the game. We need a big play here. We do have Coalescence, but Coalescence isn't that good, although we can use it with Super Serum. Heal Orb there, we have to keep the players alive. Bob's also coming, we need to ignore that. Just use it for a bit of resources. Here we go, Gadget. Popped, but we don't yet have our orb. Now we've got it. Big chain grasp damage. We've got Coalescence for a follow-up if we need it. Mercy gets taken down. We're going to use Coalescence. Get that healing over onto the Mercy. Enemy Mercy is very, very weak as well. Taken down. We can drop off an orb next to this Mei. Junker Queen putting some pressure on us. Can we get the damage out on her? We've applied the debuffs. Mei rolling, doing loads of damage as well. Junker Queen does get taken down to that. Ashe now returning to the fight just to get an orb to the face. Our team need to be on the... Well, we don't need to be on the point. We've capped it, but we need to be ready for this next fight. If we can defend at choke. Oh, we've got a flanker. We've managed to ping that. Looks like our team's collapsing on it. Okay, it is the Mei. She might be able to get over onto the point. I believe, yeah, Gadget is now popped. Damage over onto the Mercy. It's big damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Got players up there in this awkward angle to hit. I want to apply the debuffs to as many players as possible here because it's just all going to help. We've got a lot of kind of AoE damage. Fade behind to give ourselves a little break, but Winston also goes there. We've got to be a bit careful of the point. Ashe now taken down. We've got a Mei on us as well. We're going to fade over to try and attack the Mercy. A lot of players surrounding us though. This is scary. We need to orb out of there. We've got Coalescence again. We can get some healing over. Try and keep the Mercy alive. She seems to be able to do. Mei's not on the point. Popped in to chase us, and whoa, this is getting close. We put out huge damage numbers, 12k. Winston as well, because it was constant 19,838 in round 5. It's hard to earn that much cash in these rounds. Like, really difficult. But we are getting super rich. That will complete our builds, I think. But wow, look at this. Yeah, I was highlighting the difference there between the tanks, but the enemy tank has generated so much more money. Now that might also be a thing, because I reckon the enemy Junker Queen's going to be full build as well, whereas our Winston is not. So the fact that we won that round, going into the next one, I don't think their absolute raid boss carry tank can get stronger, apart from the final power. Now we can't either, but I think the rest of our team have a lot that they can still offer. So here, Phantasmic Flux, I have the Spider, the Closer. You think, well, Moira can still crit and it does mark enemies. Super Serum as well. Yeah, considering Vanadium here for the extra health. So we have Ethereal Excision giving us the lifesteal. The downside of this is that we're not really going to be using the ultimate, but we are on like 65% weapon power. So I'm okay with that. Look, we've put out 41,000 damage, enemy Junker Queen 45,000. It's rare that players out damage us when we're on this full attack. Yeah, they've got huge items there as well. So it's going to be scary, but we need the next 2 rounds. It's a good map for Ashe. It's a bad map generally for the Meis. Although the roller build... Oh, there's the Mei looking for a bit of sly flanking. Dynamite hits us. We're going to cleanse that, but since we haven't fired an orb yet. Okay, we know the Mei's behind us, but we're going to focus on the players in front. We've used our gadget a little bit late here. Putting out some damage over onto Junker Queen. We're going to go for a flank round the back here, see if we can put some pressure on. But no, Mei tracked us. That's the one hero we didn't want there. We wanted to find ourselves up against the Ashe, maybe Ashe Mercy again. But when Mei is on you that close after you've used your fade, you're just in trouble. Still, Soldier taking down the enemy Junker Queen. That's a big kill. Gets rezzed again though. At least the res is down. Right, let's see if we can get this damage combined with Winston as well. We've got the debuffs on him. If we need to, we can use the gadget. Pushing over onto the Moira. We have used the gadget. Oh, Moira's getting a bit low, does fade. I guess she went down. Oh no, she actually stayed in close, but she's going to get destroyed here by the looks of it by the Mei. Yeah, there we go. Mei taking them down. We're making nice progress. We need this round to stay in the game. And to be honest, if we get this round, I think we'll just win the game. Because we've got momentum right here. The question is, though, is how much difference does the Junker Queen's last power make? And what about everybody else scaling when we can't scale more? I really want to use Coalescence here. Really wanted to use it for the self-regen because we've got so much inactivity, but we want to make sure that we've got that Vanadium. Like, it's just so good with the rest of our build now that we've got it up and running. We got it up and running quite quickly. Like, having that extra health as well is absolutely huge. Gonna heal the Mercy if we can. We're being pushed into here. Mercy's gonna have to escape a different way. Yeah, we're done for here though. So enemy team gonna start making progress. They've currently moved it 0 meters, so we've got a bit of time to play. If we got it just after the checkpoint, which, you know, it's better than before the checkpoint, but it's certainly not a guarantee. AFK soldier, but I guess just waiting for some heals or something. Junk Queen hit us, but doesn't commit to it, and rightly so. I'm not committing forward either to this. That chain grasp getting a bit of damage over onto the Mercy. May's also weak. May gets taken down. We can fade up top. That's going to leave us a little bit safe from the Junk Queen, but we just opt to push aggressively now that they got walled off. There's an enemy Moira trying to be a bit sneaky. Cyber Venom, not Cyber Venom, El Saka Suppressor. The debuff applied to Moira. Faded that one too late, and it's a big ult as well coming from the Junk Queen. Can we eliminate her? Turns out we don't need to. Not if they're not going to move the bot. 3-3. And we're in the cash lead by 3k. We don't generate too much, but we don't need any more. So what are we going to do for power here? So if we want absolute max damage here, then we go for deconstruction. We could also opt for either multi-ball or cross-orbal and buy some orbs in this round. Looking at the map, this map, I don't like it, like playing with Moira, because Chain Grasp is actually quite hard to get the value from here. Now we might be able to go into some kind of hybrid orb thing. So Cyber Venom, Liquid Nitrogen, Extendrils, Lumerico. Eye of the Spider, Super Flexor, or Phantasmic Flux. It's tricky. On the one hand, Phantasmic Flux gives us a nice amount of sustain on our orbs as well. I think Phantasmic Flux is the better option. The question is, do we want to swap out Liquid Nitrogen to have Super Flexor instead? But I think the debuffs are going to be a shock because they haven't had to face those since like round 2, or at least with Liquid Nitrogen. Cross-Orbal would really help here, but we want to apply more debuffs to players. I think Cross-Orbal has to be the choice. The healing on it's going to be too good right now. Void Hop is probably not. Deconstruction still an option. I think it has to be Cross-Orbal. It's one of those situations where we don't need to apply the debuffs to absolutely everybody, but we could really use that healing.
It all comes down to this. Who has what it takes to win it all?
Right, round 7.
3, 2,
Winner takes all.
1.
Little shuffle in the builds, I believe, from the enemy team, even the ones who were complete. So now we're going into this round. It's a risky play. The Chain Grasp has been working so well, but as I said, the orb builds scale. When you can get a full orb build, I believe it's stronger than a full Chain Grasp build, and you can still utilize your Chain Grasp in here. So we've got to also adapt our playstyle because we're very used to using that. It's a bit risky to fire the orbs there with the Junk Queen so close. That Cross-Orbal helping us against the May, at least temporarily. She's going to try and retreat on out of there. Our team capping the point. Oh, Mercy flying by. Wanted to drop off the orb, but we couldn't get close enough there. Cross-Orbal, Heal Orb as well coming in to help. Debuffs on the Junk Queen. I think the Liquid Nitrogen's really surprised them here, realizing they can't move anywhere near as well as they could before. Okay. Oh, get off that cheeky orb. The Cross-Orbal one hits the pillar and bounces back towards our team. We can stay here for a little bit because we can drop that orb off, but we get walled out. Okay, well, we're committing forward then. Let's get those orbs in here. Phantasm Orb at the choke. If anyone pushes through there, they're going to get debuffed. Junker Queen's health just evaporating there. May does wall off half our team, followed by an ult. We can use our Coalescence now because we've not got Vanadium. Debuffs over onto the May. Ashe very low. We take him down. Junker Queen very low as well. May doing a great job just pressuring them out. Mercy's very low health as well. We're up to 69%. Nice percent to have. There's now the Mei rolling back to spawn. I mean, she'll probably wall it off, but we might be able to get the orbs there in time. Okay, I mean, it at least slowed it down. I don't think the enemy team's going to be able to get a touch here. Armory looks... Ooh, nearly got taken out as well. Winston's getting a bit low health, but liquid nitrogen coming through. Mei's trying to get there. I don't think... Well, we can't body block against that. Mei does arrive. Oh, no. Here's a Moira and a Mercy with him as well. But the Mei wall actually kind of saves us there. Phantasm orb over near to the Moira, but it doesn't hit her because she also fades. In the corner, we bounce the orb, so they bounce back out to the point, punching the Mei in the back of the head. Junker Queen's taken down. Just got to block the Mercy res. We've got orbs on point. She's not getting back. And we are going to take the game. That was a really tough one. Look at the enemy Junker. 65 eliminations with 56,000 damage and 29th. The enemy Junker Queen had more healing than I did. Which, I mean, it's not that surprising, but it's still a crazy amount. Gonna endorse the Mercy and the Winston. Putting a lot of pressure over onto their team. To be honest, probably should also endorse the Mei here. Although the lack of damage is what put us in this position in the first place. Guys, I hope you liked the video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. GG.